Namaskaram and welcome to today's episode. We have a very special artist as our guest tonight, and we're very excited to share who this is with you. So today we have Shri V S Narasimhan sir, who needs actually no introduction, but I'll attempt one anyway. So Shri V S Narasimhan sir is a well-known composer, and also he's the founder and the first violinist of the Madras String Quartet. Shri V S Narasimhan sir has played violin from several leading music directors, including A.R. Rahman and Ilayaraja. And the Madras String Quartet, which he formed, was formed in 1993 and was actually responsible for ushering in the age of Western and Carnatic fusion type of music in the musical landscape of Chennai. So Shri V S Narasimhan sir, we are so thankful to have you here today and very honored. Namaskaram to you, sir.
Namaskaram to you all.
Namaskaram, sir.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, I'm Ravindran and he is Mr. Nishan.
Sir, if I may begin this conversation with a question going back to how it all began for you on the violin. I understand you did come from a musical family. Your father was a musician himself. So can you please tell us how you were introduced to the violin, and was it on the violin first or vocal first, or how was it for you?
My father taught me violin first. I was started on a quarter-size violin. My father was V. Srinivasa Gotvadyam Vidwan. He was the disciple of legendary Gotvadyam Narayan Iyengar of Mysore Asthana Vidwan. So my father had, being the main instrument as Gotvadyam, he could also play other instruments like veena, flute, violin, harmonium, like that. And in fact, we had almost all the instruments at our home, like many harmoniums, flutes, veena, violin. We had a cello even, we had jalatarangam. So my father was very passionate about having musical instruments. So my father taught me violin and harmonium at a very young age, when I was about 4 or 5 or so. So, and also he was giving tuitions to a lot of students, and music is always there at home, always resounding music at home. So that's that atmosphere I was born.
So you initially learned Carnatic music. At what point did you start, or at what point you got interest in Western music also?
As I was playing only Carnatic music, I was happened to play for a film recording for Mr. Gantasala or Vijay Bhaskar, I think. So when we had the rehearsals, that was the first time I saw the Western violinists in Madras holding the violin like this and then playing. I was curious how they could play like this, hold the violin and then play right near the bridge and all that. So I was very curious, and that's how my curiosity began. And then I started learning Western music, and many senior musicians helped me with a lot of encouragement and things like that.
With anything minimal, like between Carnatic and the Western styles, it would have been a very different experience to learn both and practice both at the same time. And it is very interesting, like a personality like you have pursued both, and you have successfully implemented in films also, and your own findings of the quartet and all. While playing in films and whatever, that kind of a situation, you need more of a Western knowledge or Carnatic knowledge, sir?
In the beginning, I had only Carnatic knowledge. And as I grew with the experience with playing for so many music directors, so it became a lot of experience, day by day, gaining experience, and then how the Westerners used to play things, that I started learning myself the Western way of playing and started to read the Western notation staff system. And then it became sort of routine self-study.
Sir, do you think there are any particular techniques that, that Carnatic violinists can adapt from the Western violin style?
Sure, definitely. Anybody can adapt. You see, we have, as Carnatic musicians, we have developed very good knowledge of listening to whatever it is and then able to play it along. So that is the Carnatic musician speciality. So learning a little bit of to read the Western staff notation is the only thing you will be a little strange with in the beginning. And as you become accustomed to it, then you'll be very familiar with reading the notes and then lot of listening to Western classical music. You become into the so it becomes very natural to like how anybody, a foreigner coming to learn Carnatic music, he has to come here and be in the ambience so that he can imbibe the music and then produce the music. Like that, we also can have to listen to the lot of Western classical music, and then we'll be able to play it along. I'm sure anybody can, with a staff notation and listening to passionate listening, urge to learn, will be able to play Western music also.
Okay. For any violinist, I think it's just a change of a mindset. Correct. As a violinist myself,
right, exactly.
the change of mindset to we have the concept of Shruti. So tuning this string to this note, but in Western it's not there. So you have to with the fingers you need to find a note, whichever note is given. So it's a basic change of the mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like maybe playing a lot of Grasabhedams. The mindset might go like that.
Yeah.
Then about your experiences in your film field and about being becoming a composer yourself, how was the transition, sir?
Transition, I would say it was quite natural for me because as I was playing in the film field for so many music directors, I kept on learning about harmonization, study of harmony, and then assisting some music director. I was assisting music director Mr. M.B. Srinivasan for his film music and also for his choral music. So with this experience, I had established myself sort of what if Carnatic music can be harmonized and made like a sound like how Western Quartet sounds like that. So how can we do that? So I thought of making some experiments like that. That's how it became. It's quite natural for me.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to your founding as the quartet, Madras Quartet, I learned that being in the quartet, it needs to almost live together. That is that much long hours of practice and that much of understanding is needed. And how did it go? Like in your experience that you rehearse a lot of hours, even for maybe for 3 or 4 compositions.
Yeah, usually when we rehearse for a session, we sit for about 2-3 hours. We play. We used to play earlier. We used to play only Western quartets like Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, and Schubert, like that. So with this experience, the string quartet gave me a fantastic experience and satisfaction. Then that's how. Then with this, how can we Carnatic music can sound like that with a blending of harmony? That was my exploration.
Yeah. So melody coming with harmonizing. So that'll be a different experience for any listener, common listener.
Yeah.
But is there any limitation like usage of ragas and not so complicated ragas can be used or something like that?
It is possible because so far I've been harmonizing not very rare ragas like Ananda Baribi or Husseini, something like that. But Kalyani, Shankarabaranam, Kararapriya, Chakravakam, Vachaspati, and also we have done harmonizing Shama Shastri Swarajiti also, Bhairavi Swarajiti also.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it one has to think a lot and how to be within the raga and then do the harmony.
So as you said, it's Swarajyotis, it would have been a very big challenge because Todi and Bhairavi are not simple to produce,
Yes.
to any harmonize and all. So Todi might sound totally different in that sense.
Totally is difficult. Totally is difficult to harmonize, but
yes, about when we harmonize, what kind of an audience or what kind of an organizer will you look for normally?
we don't look for organization. It's the when we performed, we were performing as a string quartet, the main repertoire from the Western quartets. So like Mozart, mainly a lot of Mozart quartets we used to play, Beethoven, and then old Jacques, like that. So we used to play about 1.5 hours. Towards the end of the piece, like in a concert, towards the end of we play the Tilana or Tukada's Patrol, yeah.
Yes.
And the Mari, towards the end of the concert, we just played some 1 or 2, 3 the arrangements of my arrangements for the Carnatic music, like Chinanjiri Kiliye, some Desh Tilana, something like that. So when it was played after the series of about 1 hour or so, complete Western music, then we came to this. It was something new for the audience. They really appreciated. We didn't know. They came to us and then said, we didn't know that the Carnatic music can sound so beautifully and different altogether. It was very nice. So that was the reaction we got from the audience.
Oh, that's great, sir. So basically that you need a long practice, and also like there should be appreciation from the organizers and the listeners.
Yes, yes.
Alike, yes. So to train anybody who is not already in that kind of setup, how long it might take to find, for example, if I give 6 students, dedicated students, how long it might take to form a small, maybe to play 2-3 compositions?
No, they should be able to read the staff notation, because the arrangement will be in the staff notation. So first violinist will have the melodic part, second violinist have his part, the viola will have this part, and then cello part. So all the 4 people will be able to read the Western soft notation. And then the first violinist, coming from the Indian tradition, will be able to play with his own experience, the playing gamakas with the notes.
Okay.
It's quite natural.
Yeah. So for quartet, normally like we need only one Indian violinist, right? One lead Indian violinist.
One Indian, because it is also better, because in my quartet I tell them to be everyone, all the 4 to be more Indianized. Not only, sometimes it needs to be playing some in plain notes, like a Westerner play plain notes. But sometimes it requires, it is better if everybody knows Carnatic. That's much better. That's the standard I would like to go for.
Oh, okay.
Because there are certain movements where the cello has to go. For example, in the Sri Mahaganapati, there is in the beginning, there is a raga I play, and then cello answers the small alap also.
Oh.
And how could he play the alap? Because I encourage him to play the alap. Madara madara pada sani ma pada magari reza, like that. Those gamakas, ma pada sani ma pada magari. So those kinds of glissando and all those is better. All the four can attempt it.
Oh, okay.
That's how the staccato to be. Because initially, because they were not Indianized, they didn't know Indian music at all. I was encouraging, please come on, play Indianized, play Indianized. So I was telling them. Then so to some extent they could play.
Okay.
And Shekhar was, because he comes from a Konakudi Vaidyanathan's son. He was very, very challenging. He took it very like a challenge, and then he could play very easily. So I used to tell my second violinist also, my violist also, to play a little more Indianized. So that's the way it should be, the Indian quartet. Because simply the first violinist only play the gamakam, the other one play the long notes like a Westerner player. It's no good. But from there you could go towards more Indianized.
Okay.
But initially we could not all play the Indianized version. So that's the way we should go about.
So I have seen that you have conducted the string quartet successfully at Esplanade here, Singapore. Just about that experiences, how it happened in Singapore, and about what happened in that. You just can share your experiences, sir.
Maybe how they came to know, I don't know. The Singapore the organization, I don't recollect the names of the organization. They came to know about our playing. Then one lady from that organization contacted me. We would like to have some festival. Then we would like to feature you as a string quartet. I said, very fine. That was a good opportunity for us to go out and then perform. So we did. It was a good opportunity for us.
Yeah. Because in that from that concert, I have listened to one or two Carnatic pieces which you have played. It was fantastic. That I think the audio arrangement also normally is good there. With that, it had come out very well.
Yeah. Yes.
So about your experiments with the violin making, like I think you have experimented with some sympathetic strings making and all of violin. So how was that experience? That experiment started and how it went on, sir?
Which one?
With violin with some sympathetic strings.
Oh, sympathetic strings.
Yeah.
Okay. Some years back, I met one person from France. He had this. He was studying the Hindustani music from in Calcutta with V.G. Job.
Yeah.
V.G. Job, the Hindustani master. So he came to Madras. Then I happened to see his violin. Then I was very fascinated about the sympathetic strings. So I expressed my desire. If I could get one like this, it will be very nice. Then there was he remembered it. And then when he came back next time from France, he brought one violin for me.
Oh.
So that's how it started. Then I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Dr. Balaji in Varanasi. And he is a tremendous, very big violinist, and also has very skillful in making, repairing, making this set of innovating violins with sympathetic strings. So I became very friendly with him. So when I showed him this sympathetic strings violin, then he made more modification, and so that it became very, very resounding. Now it's like it sounds like a sarangi now.
Yeah, I listened to that for playing. It sounds a little bit bassy, a little bit bassy, right? A little bit.
Sorry,
it is a bit more bass.
No, it's not bass because I tune it in Sapa. I don't tune it Western tuning. So you have Sapa in 2 octaves. So the G string is also Sa, and D string is Pa, and the A string Sa and Pa. So we have 2 strings. When you play low, it sounds like bass.
Oh, okay. How this Norwegian violin, that Hardanger violin, is different from what you found?
Who's that?
that Norwegian violin, it also has 4 or 5 sympathetic strings, I think. Hardanger violin.
I don't know. I have not.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
So
think
that sympathetic strings, I think somebody else has also tested in India, but not so successfully. So how?
no, this is Mr. Dr. Balaji has done wonderful things, and his violin with sympathetic strings is out of the world.
Okay.
Out of the world. He has put the machine heads for the tuning of the. It becomes very easy when you change the raga according to the raga. You can change the
Yes.
sympathetic string according to the ragam you play. Very
Yes,
easy
yes.
to tune. So
Yeah.
it's beautiful, beautiful song.
Yes, sir. So what for the knowledge of the students, what techniques can be imbibed by Carnatic students from Western, sir?
They have to learn a little bit of fundamentals from the Western violin. Western violin.
Okay.
I don't tune my violin to sapa sapa. When I'm posting violin, I don't tune it to. It's always on Western tuning. G, D, A, E, going from the lowest. So I take my sa, when I play Carnatic music, I take my sa as a D string. So my shruti will be always 2, D.
Oh.
So I sa and pa are open string, like any normal violin, sapa.
Yes.
And so when you have to play lower G string, it's not going to sound like pa, it's going to sound ma.
Yes.
So you have to play one note higher. So I got used to it from the playing in the film field for so many years. I got used to that. So there's no problem for me. So I can very easily, for the last 40, 50 years, I've been doing only with this tuning. So it's very easy to think, only to know the fingers of the, you have to, as I said, you have to know the little bit of the fundamentals of the Western techniques. Like you have to play little studies. There are a lot of various gradual studies are there for violins. If you play scales, studies, and all that, you become little confident with these things. Then you can switch over what you want to do.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Sir, before you, were there any pioneers whom you saw and got inspired to form that quartet with Carnatic compositions?
I haven't seen anybody
Oh.
like this kind of work. I think my work is the only thing which I knew. I have not seen anybody doing like this. So I have not followed anybody. So when I started learning Western music, the Western harmony was attracted me to play Western music. Well, I used to play a lot of in Western violin concerts. Some foreign violinists used to come and play here. I used to attend the concert. I used to play. I used to listen to a lot of YouTube videos. So all this I listened a lot of Western classical music, chamber, orchestral things. So this harmony makes me pulling towards the Western music. Harmony, So that harmony is the thing always sounding in my head. So that is why the Carnatic music was blending into harmony. What was the idea?
Okay. Yeah, but in Western music, normally we have like violin solos, which are accompanied only by piano or something. So
piano also accompanied by the orchestra. The concertos are accompanied by the orchestra. Yeah. The solo, like a Mozart concerto, is a solo violin accompanied by the big, about 60, 70 strong orchestra.
Yes, yes. So it's a very, very unique. Maybe what you tried it's very unique, and we should see how far it can go and how much support it can take. But as you say, like it needs a separate set of skills from the players. So as you say, they should be familiar with Western and Carnatic, so which will be advantageous and it will sound nice to play some slides and everything.
Yeah. So I also, because this with my experience of doing this, I just want this movement of playing Carnatic music in Western format, in a quartet format, should grow. It should grow to the other people also. That is why I started to make some workshops, conduct some workshops for upcoming young violinists. So they should also start listening more seriously about Western classical music, how Western violin especially, and then learn things about. And then there are a lot of things we can borrow from Western violin, Western system. So these are all the things I was explaining in the workshop. So it's a pity that it didn't take off very nicely, because our young violinists, they are very keen on performing more their Carnatic things, and I have that lack of interest in looking at the other music.
No, normally, I have seen in our Indian context, those who get a little bit of interest in Western music, initially they get attracted by cine music and they start playing songs, not playing the music, but they start playing songs, which is like a bit more melodious and nothing to do with the original Western style.
While I appreciate these people playing film songs, it's the playing film songs is not. I don't think I don't deny that it's not a good. And they are very good at that. I appreciate all that. But apart from playing also, if you could play little more, take interest deeply, seriously, and then go deeply into Western violin techniques, and then play a few, gather three other people, and then make a quartet, then start playing quartet. Then you enjoy the sound of string quartet. And then you can also play your own, make arrangement for a film song, how by a string quartet. It will sound much better. Mm-hmm. Then instead of playing a film song, you play some light music from the Indian music, or the kirtanam from the Indian music. So arrange it, and then play as a string quartet. That's how I started. So let anybody also do that same thing. That's what I wanted to do.
But one thing that I've observed when playing a kriti in the quartet format, like, because in a quartet format we don't have a percussion accompaniment. It's only four string instruments which go together. So it sounds very different, and it's also like there's no distortion. So somebody can actually build it up, somebody can pull it down. So it's like without any distortion, it reaches the full song reaches the listeners. So there's a kind of new adventure. Maybe you have foreseen it. It's a great thing, sir.
No, I have also, because coming to talk of lack of percussion instrument, I have also heard from audience. We didn't know that classical music, Indian classical, Carnatic music will sound so beautifully without any percussion accompaniment. Mm. That was a great tribute for us. So without I don't say anything about mridangam percussion accompaniment. Without the percussion accompaniment, this was good enough. We didn't feel the absence of percussion, they say. Yes. That's what I mean.
Yes. But in this string quartet format, that there's no space for percussion instrument. So that is.
Yeah. So while arranging, you can also, there is always harmony, and there is always a sort of percussive arrangement that they play like the mridangam. Like that arrangement, it can be with the three other instruments, while the first one is playing the melody. So there can be harmonizing, and then also playing with the harmony with the nada also.
Okay. Mm.
Both are possible. So in the string quartet arrangement, there's a lot of possibility out there. Only one has to think very deeply about it.
So you seem to teach also. You to students whomever come to you, do you teach both styles?
Uh, no, I have not taught anything Carnatic musician, but I was hoping to teach them Carnatic violinists to teach them Western violin. So Western violin, if you can adopt little bit Western techniques, they could be adopt lot of things from the Western violin.
Okay. With the fingering techniques and bowing techniques,
Yeah,
they can become
yeah.
better. Yeah.
As I keep practicing, I just lot of ideas brings to my mind. So I just want to share it with a lot of people, but I need people to share it with me.
Yes, yes. So how was the response in Chennai? Any recent means, I mean, the last 3-4 years or something, have concerts in Chennai, sir?
Yeah, we played a lot of concerts in Chennai and elsewhere, and everywhere it was a good appreciation. We didn't know that Carnatic music can sound so beautifully without the percussion and with the harmony and things like that. It can so beautifully. They say you took us to some different world. That was I consider it a great tribute for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends upon the composition and how the others are harmonizing into that. So even everything falls into place, the experience will be very good for any listeners.
Yes, yes.
So about your film music direction and all, how was your journey? I think you directed for 2 films.
So I did about 10 or 12 films.
Oh, okay.
Because as I told you, as I was playing in the orchestra violin, I was also, for my own study, I was learning harmonization theory and all that. So as I told you, I was assisting a few music directors, especially Mr. M.B. Srinivasan, for his films work and his choral work. So with that experience, I was able to do my own independent film work. So my first film was Achemale Achemale for director K. Balachandar.
Okay.
And some 2-3 films, Tamil films, and then one Kannada film, one Malayalam film, and then after that another one 5 or 6 Tamil films. So not great hits, but the songs were very highly appreciated.
Very good. Very. So for students, student level, I used to say that after learning one particular style for a particular number of years, then they can go for look for other styles, learning other styles, because learning at the same time 2 different styles might be confusing to their basic mind setup. Am I right, sir?
It all depends on. It is. I don't think it is a problem to try out 2 different things. Like for example, you can play Carnatic music, and then with the Western violin, how the fingers are there, the use of lot of 4th finger, and then think of the positions. We have in the Western violin, we have first position, second position, third position. Even normally in Carnatic music, we use first position and then third position. Sa going to the first finger and the for sa, for the higher sa. So that's sa, and you can also have the second finger. And also for re, pada ni sa re, noma pada ni sa re, go to the third position and then play with the second finger. Pada ni sa re, only re up to go. You are not going beyond re. So you can use, I'll use the 4th finger also. So 4th finger has to give lot exercises. So in Carnatic music, you can do a lot of things. So like in Western music, lot of positions are there. The 4th finger, 4th position, 5th position, these are all very useful while playing in the one string, the D string, A string, going higher and all that. So it all depends on the mindset of the student.
Okay. Yes, sir. Because here it's generally like somebody will be interested in both styles of music. Maybe maybe some vocal students might go for piano classes. Some violin student might be going for another Western violin classes also. So I just want to put forward how it'll be for experience for students.
I think that's a very good idea. I think the learning two systems, then I don't think there'll be any confusion at all, because it's only music bringing together both systems together.
Okay, sir. You have anything specific to tell to students who want to learn, maybe who are trained in Carnatic and who want to learn the basics of Western? But how long they might have to learn, sir?
The long duration is it depends on one's individual's interest. You cannot say 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. You cannot do that. But it is, I would, young students, either vocalists or instrumentalist, violinists, they should listen to the other world, like other Western world, and think. And listening makes a lot of impression. How I became interested was I was listening a lot of things. By listening a lot, I became so interested. They became a passion. So to know the other system, you have to listen a lot. Listen what? Not the what comes on the way, some film music, this thing. No, you can hear all that also. But serious listening should be on the classical Western music, Western classical music, chamber music, quartet music. And you can also jazz. You can learn so many things from the jazz. Jazz make you feel so happy. You want to dance. How does it make you to dance? So the music goes into you. So not only anything, any music should be appreciated, and then so you must be able to enjoy it. So the Western music is Western classical music is something great. Like we say Carnatic music, ocean, that's also another ocean. So looking at that, you have to you're from this bank, you're looking at the other bank of things. So you have to cross.
Yeah.
Then you get the.
And has there been any attempt made in the Hindustani music also, like what you did in Carnatic?
I have not done a little bit. Some styles in my composition will sound a little bit kind of Hindustani, but I listen a lot of Hindustani. I listen a lot of Hindustani violins, sitar, sarangi. I listen a lot because listening helps a lot. You don't know what will come from your mind. All these are all like a savings, when you want to spend, you don't know where you want to spend all that. So when you listen, it's all putting in your bank, in your mind. So when you want to create something, suddenly some pop up. So you don't know from where it got that idea. So listening is a best thing.
Okay, sir. So thank you for sharing your views, sharing your experiences. So to our students, it should be a little bit enlightening to how to look into the other forms of other styles of music and what type of.
And I would like to say one more thing.
Yes.
I have also done an experiment with a cappella. A cappella is only with voice, with no any accompaniment at all, any instrumental accompaniment at all. That was Jagaraja's Brova Bharama. Have you listened to that?
Sorry,
no.
No.
I think if you type Brova Bharama and my name, you will come up with a Brova Bharama. I have used a solo voice sung by Veena Parthasarathy's son, Sriram Parthasarathy. He's singing the main part. And then I have used about seven or eight male voices playing the harmony, singing the harmony for the quartet. So it's a beautiful thing. I think this is the world's first Carnatic a cappella.
Oh, okay.
They have done about some 3-4 years back.
I think
I'm also,
a cappella is getting a bit familiar recently. I see many people trying that with sometimes like one singer doing 7 different parts also.
Yeah, that's a good attempt because this one we are doing it for the Carnatic music.
Okay.
There are also people doing very good work, doing some very good melody from the film music and making an a cappella. That was a good attempt also, I would say. But if you take a Carnatic classical piece and then made a cappella, that sounds a little great. I was fascinated by that outcome. So you please listen to that. I would welcome you to listen to that.
We'll
So
recommend to the students also. Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing some more of that kind of work also.
Okay.
A cappella work.
So great to listen from you, sir.
Thank you.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and
thank you very much
for being with us.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to express my views, and thanks very much for you, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Namaste.
Namaste.